No, just if you must stand and must go for the call.
Mr. Speaker.
Don't worry about anybody else, because there is a split call. Marama Davidson, 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Tēnā koutou katoa e te whare. Te Puea Marae in Mangere are working hard to house families who are without a home. Mr. Speaker, my colleague from Labour, Pini Henare, and I were privileged to be part of the Te Puea community in the weekend just gone, so we could listen and see firsthand exactly the compassion, the systemic and vital work that Mangere are doing to house people. Te Puea Marae are responding to the absolute mess and crisis that is a result of the national government failings to ensure that every whānau has a warm, dry, safe and affordable home to live in, Mr. Speaker. Te Puea Marae are leading and showing up the government in its lack and its neglect of caring for our people. While we were at Te Puea Marae, I listened to the stories of the donations and of the people who have opened their hearts to drop off. And so this is to drop off goods. And this is what I wanted to talk about in this budget speech, is what this budget neglected to include. People know that this is wrong, that our families are living in anything other than a safe, affordable home, not cramming into the homes of other friends, not living in garages, not living in cars, or simply living in a home, but it's not secure because they've been asked to find somewhere else because the market is actually privileging using houses as a business instead of a home. I would have liked to have seen the budget prioritise the fact that houses are supposed to be for homes, not for a business. That is the real political leadership in our budget that this country needs right now and certainly needs going forward, because this mess has not happened overnight. This mess is a result of all the previous 7 failed budgets. Wages and benefits have not kept up with the cost of living. This is why people are living elsewhere than a good home, because the rents are too high and the wages are too low. This is not rocket science. This is just pure basic good economics and basic math. This mess has happened because of an aggressive drive to cut and remove people's benefits, but without actually having a good place or job or employment for these people to move to. So again, people and organisations, including Te Puea Marae, are responding to a crisis and a failure of the national government, and this budget highlighted even more so that the national government's budget does not prioritise caring for our families and communities. Real leadership would actually invest in the building of more state homes, but also have a program for affordable homes to buy for first home buyers. So many people are going to be locked out of owning a home, but already people are locked out of even renting one, of even renting a home. A real leadership would actually also go and see for yourself exactly what is happening. As I am a resident of South Auckland, I have been to Bruce Pullman Park in Papakura, I have been to Te Puea Marae, I have been to the parks in Mangere where people are parking up in their cars at nights. These are the things that should have been taken into account when planning our budget, so that we have a capital gains tax apart from the family home, so that we input measures to ensure that it is not more attractive to have a house for a business as it is to actually be able to live in one with your family, with your people, and raise your family. Those are the sorts of investments that should have been essential and prioritised in the budget. What else is a government for if it is not prioritising our most vulnerable? Because actually that will and already has come back to bite us all anyway. So any good planning should take that into account. So again, and to finish off, Mr. Speaker, in failing the most vulnerable in this budget and the budgets previously, the national government has failed all of us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.